Hi! If you live in Poland, especially as an immigrant, and you feel stuck, underpaid, or unsure how to move forward, this video is exactly for you. So back in 2021, when I was a student and I was about to graduate, I asked myself one simple question: how much do I need to earn to feel stable and safe? Rent, food, transport, savings, and sometimes also I was helping out my parents. And the number was 8,000 zloty per month, and at that time I was earning only
3,000 zloty per month.
so the gap was huge. And I was thinking, okay, so how do I close this gap? And this video is about how exactly I did that as an immigrant with no prior work experience, with no Polish language, no connections, and my documents were still pending. So let's start from the 3,000 zloty job. Before the job, I've had thousands of applications, lots of rejections, no responses, and interviews where I felt underqualified. And just like for everyone else, it was one of the challenging times of my life. And so I started treating this job search as a project. I researched a lot about how recruitment in Poland works, like I changed my CV thousands of times, literally. Also, I practiced for my interviews and learned how to sell myself. And eventually, I got my first corporate role in an IT company, and it definitely felt like a breakthrough. It was one of the biggest achievements I've had, and it felt great. But it wasn't enough, because we still had this gap. So let's talk about it. So my goal is 8,000 zloty. My salary is 3,000 zloty. So the gap is 5,000 zloty. Instead of complaining about my salary, I negotiated it to 4,000 zloty, and now I just need to think about how do I build the rest 4,000. And that's when I stopped thinking in terms of one job and started thinking in terms of income stacking. First income stack was my coaching services. When I was job hunting, I struggled a lot, and so I turned this struggle into service. I created job hunting coaching services specifically for immigrants with no experience. And I built a presentation, I built guide, structured process, and I would look for clients across Facebook groups from like universities or international communities, LinkedIn, friends of friends, and just basically try to look for clients everywhere. And I charged 200 zloty per client. So each week I would have 2 to 4 clients. That's around 2.4k additional zloty per month. And I had my first realization at the time from something that I built myself. You don't need permission to create value. At the same time, I worked weekends as a waitress from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and I would get paid 25 zloty per hour. So per month it would be around 2.4 thousand zloty. Was it glamorous? No. Was it tiring? Absolutely. And I didn't enjoy that work that much because I felt like I'm just wasting my time. But I'm definitely grateful that I went through it, and it definitely helped me also financially. I also signed with modeling agency for some commercial shoots, campaigns, and in parallel I was also freelance, just doing anything and everything. I was organizing photo shoots, I was doing recruitments for small companies, I did some small gigs for graphic design specifically for restaurants, and throughout this time, for 1 to 1.5 years, I earned 4 to 5,000 zloty for this whole period. So now when you add everything, 4,000 zloty corporate job, 2.4k from coaching, 2.4k from waitress, that's already 8.8 thousand zloty net per month. So my goal achieved. And in strong months, even more. So whenever my modeling or freelancing shoot up, I had even around 10,000 zloty per month. So definitely it was a success. And it all worked out for me because I actually put the work, I looked for the opportunities, I created them for myself, and I actioned on them. And mind you, I was between all these jobs, I was still studying, and I completed my studies at 4.9 GPA, so definitely proud of it. It was definitely a challenging time, but it all worked out, and it can also work out for you. Looking back at this experience, there were definitely two things that really changed my trajectory. So first, opportunities are everywhere. I used to hate this sentence because at that time when I didn't see the hope or these opportunities, I was just like, okay, where?
What is it?
But once I slowed down, I realized opportunities don't look like opportunities. They look like conversations, small ideas, uncomfortable situations, events you're too tired or too shy to attend. And when you show up consistently, they all compound. Second, networking, even when you're shy. And I remember I used to be extremely shy. I can still be sometimes. And I remember at my first networking dinner, I told myself that I will not leave this place until I talk to at least 2 people. And honestly, this rule changed everything because the more events I attended, I realized the value and the power of networking because I learned so much about these conversations I've had there. I've met the most incredible and knowledgeable people who were actually also helping me throughout my self-development journey. And also, some of the job offers I was receiving came not from the applications, but actually from this networking. And networking is not about being loud, it's about being visible. Today, I work in an IT company for 3 years now as a sales, meaning I earn commissions from the deals I close. And I stopped working weekends, I stopped my side hustles after 5 p.m. And at first, this free time felt strange. But now I appreciate it more because it feels like a luxury and I can go to gym, I can go travel, and also I started YouTube. But the hunger to build something more is still there, and that's why I'm here. If you want an action plan for this month, here is what I would do. I would focus on building my network and skills first, and the best place you can start is by attending events. And here are some that I recommend that I've been to and found them very useful. Network with people, learn how to do it. If you don't know what to talk about, definitely research about it. You can use different channels like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Just use it to your advantage. And I can also recommend you some people that I follow on TikTok that I learned from and that I found really useful. As for building skills, so pick one thing. It can be one topic that you're very knowledgeable about or a skill that you're very good at. Focus on it and build your services, coaching, or brand around it and just get clients. I'm really curious how this turns out for you, so please share your experience in the comment sections. I would really love to interact with you there and see how I can help based on my experience. To wrap up, as you have noticed, comparing to my previous videos, the content is definitely different and I will be talking more about money, growth, networking, immigrant life in Poland, and growth. If you want me to go deeper into any part of this story, tell me in the comments. Was it how I got my first corporate job? Was it how I negotiated my salary? How did I turn networking into opportunities? Or how I built my coaching service? Just let me know and I will dedicate next video about it. We will build this channel together based on what you need, and if you're on this journey too, you are not alone. Thank you everyone for your attention, and please subscribe, follow on my channel. I'll be happy to see you on the next one.